Hi guys, welcome back to the painting channel, and today I've got part 3 of the lovely elephant calf and mother to show you. So without further ado, let's roll that intro. Let's see how we get on. Hi guys, welcome back. As I said just now, it is part 3 of the lovely elephant and calf at that waterhole in New Brownie, Etosha, Namibia. Now, following on from part 2, which I showed you recently, where we made the next layer and the next part of the painting process, we're going to take the stage a little further and we're going to put a new layer on, and we're going to actually add more detail. And every time you do this, it gets a lot slower. Unfortunately, it's the process of the painting, but hopefully you'll get something from it. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. So without further ado, let's get on and let's see what happens. Okay, as you can see, we've got the 1216 painting ready to go. And to say it's dry is an understatement. It's been dry for so long, it's probably got cobwebs. That when you do a painting, you do the blocking, then you do the next layer, which is more detail. The next layer is even more detail, and so on. But every successive layer of detail, you get a little bit less paint or brush marks going into it. The thing is that you've got a lot of area to cover with that blocking, but then you put a lot less information in, but more and more detail. And every time I do that, there's less brush mark, but the time takes so much longer. This is why it's very hard to do something like this in one sitting, and it does take a little while. Now, as usual, I'm going to be using my Rosemary & Co brushes. These are a selection of Shiraz, but mainly the Evergreen series. I love these ones. They've got extra spring in them, in my opinion. Now, the thing is that Rosemary is absolutely fantastic. It's a cottage industry that is bursting at the seams, because Rosemary sells these brushes to art establishments all over the world, and major player artists as well buy them in great amounts. So they are a brush that is or has very few peers, and I can say that with all assuredness, because I've been using these for so many years now, and I wouldn't recommend them to anybody unless I trusted them, and I really do. They're all handmade and they are sent out without the middleman, so you can actually buy these brushes at a very reasonable cost without paying all the different people in between, the producer and you, the artist, all taking their cut. Rosemary makes them and distributes them directly for you guys to buy. But when you do that, if it's an oil, watercolor, or indeed an acrylic brush, when you get to checkout, please, in the affiliate link, just put my name in capitals, unbroken. That will give me a little thank you from Rosemary for pushing the brushes and letting you know all about them. Right, now I'm going to start with a small flat. It's a long flat. It's a number 3, and we're going to get on. So what I was trying to say before is that I have actually added a lot more detail, but I've looked at the animals concerned, and I've got little bits of warmth in here, and essentially they were there, but I've just added some marks to them to bring them on. So what I'm going to do now is just continue that idea. The mix I've got here is some zest. It's a little bit cloudy, a bit dirty, to be fair. I'm going to add in a little bit of blue, and I'm actually going to bring in a new color that I haven't used for a long time, and that is King's Blue Deep, just to give my white a little bit of a cool value as I put it onto the hide of the back of the elephant here. It is quite cool, and I just want that to be on the back end of this cow, and just to show that lovely salt, dried salt pan color that these elephants have. Now there's a lot of cool colors in here which I do want to observe. Very subtle changes in the skin tones. It's very, very light, but you've got very, very cool values. I'm going to bring that down through there, just that lovely little bit of blue down the side of the eye socket there. And then we've got a little bit more, just a little tap of light on the eye itself, the eyelid and the eyelashes. Now I may have to come back in and do a little bit of work in the reverse of that, but essentially that's it. So I'm going to come in, that's the wrong blue, let's get rid of that, we don't want that at all. Let's come back in and do a little bit of work in here. So this is more blue, and I'm just coming over the other eye area. I want that lovely reflected light from the sands that is pumping back into the side and the face of this animal. And it's going to get a little warmer as well. We've got a lot of warm values coming down through here. Now I'm enjoying using a small flat. This is a number 1 long flat of the filbert, of the evergreen family, as it were. And I love them because, especially when they're nice and new and you've looked after them, then they do hold a lovely sharp chisel edge that you can drag in different ways and create some very nice effects that way. I'm just gently adding some more colors in as we move forward with this. Now the whole process does start to really slow down to a grind because you are looking over the whole area to increase the information that you've already put in and make it work overall, certainly in conjunction with everything else. A little bit of warmth there, but coming quickly back in with some darker values of the umber just to take some of the blue out of it. Little touches, they don't need to be big and they don't need to be solid lines. These creases stop and start as they go through the trunk. They're not actually ever a solid line. So many people go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please don't do that. You will regret it. It won't look real. It will not look genuinely attractive either. It's something to be avoided. Observation. That's key, is to look at what you've got, look at what you're doing, seeing what's there, and gently moving forward ever so slowly. Just putting the odd mark in. And I may not go down all the way. I'm just going where I feel most comfortable with that right now. And just come up into here. I want to put a bit of a light warm value as well, just at the top of those platelets of skin. Those armory platelets are on the animal itself. I'll bring that out. I've got to be very careful Now where's my mole stick? Not counting these and just putting them on. Hopefully they will suggest what I'm hoping they will suggest, and that is those little knobbles of light on parts of the hide. I'm going to cool them off a little bit, get a little bit of blue into them as they go round towards the back end of the animal. And they almost just tone in with the bottom, with her bottom. Can I say that? I suppose I can say that. No reason why I shouldn't say that. But her bottom. Alright. There we go. Just take that colour blue up. Nice little glow from the back end. It's all these little plays of lights and darks that you put on now that will set it up, because you're not trying to paint every subtlety in this animal, you're merely trying to paint the feeling of this animal. You can't convey every subtle shape, form, division of colour, change of colour, but you can try and hint to as much as possible so that it looks quite convincing when you come to the final few brush marks to complete it. Anyway, this is going to put a little bit of white to that King's Blue. Just want to give that little bit of lighter blue colour there. Goes up. I don't think mine is high enough. I'm going to bring that up a little bit more on this little fella. A little bit across the back here. And then a little bit there on the back of his neck. Okay, if you've got it wrong, it's not a big deal. You just have to come back in later on and just fix the mistake. They're not too far off. Really, I am enjoying it again. I gotta say, I didn't know if I would. Very hard sometimes to get back into a painting that you've left for so long and done nothing to. You keep seeing it there. It's been with me in that state for ages now. It is just nice to be able to sit back down to it with a little bit of playing around and get back into the groove of painting this little fella and his mum. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun doing it as always, and I know we're nowhere near the finish yet, but I'm sure you've got something from it. And if you did and you enjoyed it, please give the channel a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, please help it grow by subscribing. It really doesn't cost you anything to do that, but it does help the channel reach a lot more people who would love to learn as you're learning about oil painting. So please subscribe, that would be fantastic. And if you've got any comments, put them down below. And as I have said, that the reference for this is already on my Patreon for you to download and use for free. It doesn't cost you anything to do that. You may have to go back a few posts to find it, or I may re-upload that reference with each successive part of this painting, so you don't have to look very far. But whatever way, find that, download it and use it. And while you're there, there is a pure channel, pure tier on my Patreon just for oil painters. So if you want to get involved, you want to reach out and learn more and get full time, I add one full-length video each and every month for you to enjoy. So have a look at that. If you want to get involved, you'd be so welcome. And in the meantime, I'm going to get ready and take a look at possibly doing part 4 very soon, and we'll take it from there. Take care everybody, wherever you are. Stay safe, enjoy your painting. Bye bye.